Hey everyone, I'm here with a video on how to get 2016 ARK Survival of the Fittest running once again. Now, I'd say I think around 2022, the Studio Wildcard updated the game, and me personally, and a lot of other people agree, it was for the worse. Honestly, it removed the survival of the fittest aspect of it. And it was just kind of like gather points and tame dinosaurs, and it was just lame. So, with that being said, I found a new way to get the 2016 version running once again. Now, from at the time of recording this video, official queues do work. I completely doubt if the official servers are still up though, because I haven't actually had enough, Steam accounts to fix it. But um, I think by the time this guide is released, we'll probably troubleshoot that and figure that out. Right now, I'm working with a couple of like top 10 people on the leaderboards from back then in 2016 and stuff like that who played the old SotF to get unofficial servers running, and you'll definitely see an influx of those servers coming back up. Currently, there are 2 servers at the time of recording this, but there will be more in the future. I definitely, I expect so. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and begin with the guide. Enough blabbering for me. Let's start. So if you scroll down to the description of the video, you'll find all this. The first thing you'll need from here is actually to get Depot Downloader, and it's going to be right over here. So you just want to click that GitHub link and then click this little thing right here. And then I'm on Windows 64-bit. If you're on an ARM CPU, then download this. If you're on Linux or Mac OS, you don't need to actually do any of this. You can just download the game straight from Steam. It hasn't been updated in over 8 years, so kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and download this, and there it is, done already. So I'm just gonna double click this on top here, and then I'm going to extract it. Boom. And then I'm gonna get another window right here. I'm just gonna close this window right here. So once you have this application doesn't really have a GUI. Like, so you can't just double click this and it's gonna work. Nah. Unfortunately, you have to actually open a PowerShell window. In order to do that, it's actually pretty simple. Just go ahead and click Shift and then right click, and then you're gonna see Open PowerShell window here. So once you're here, you should see this. First thing first is you're going to want to put this forward dot slash and then click tab until you get to Depot Downloader. Now, it may say this. If it starts off a license, just click tab again until you get to Depot Downloader. So once you made it here, you want to go back in the description of the video and find this little command for PowerShell that I left right here. So you're just going to copy it from here, from dash app, and then just copy it all the way, Control C, boom, bang. And when you want to paste this. So you don't actually have to mess with anything else here. The only thing you're going to have to remove is this your Steam login username. So I'm just going to remove this, and then I'm going to put in mine. So mine is this, and boom. You can click enter right after that, and it's going to ask you to enter the password. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter my password. Boom. And it's going to try to connect to Steam 3. Logging in. All right, so if you have multi-factor authentication like Steam Guard on your phone or Steam Guard in your email, it's gonna ask you to confirm your sign-in via code with your email or anything like that. So I actually have my phone right here with me, and Steam sent me a notification. So allow me to just open the Steam app real quick. Okay, and then I'm just going to accept my sign-in. Boom. So now that I accepted my sign-in, just gonna go ahead and do that. As you can see, it's downloading this right here. Got manifest request code. As you can see, it's pre-allocating all these depots. So this can take a bit of time depending on what your internet speed is, where you live, and stuff like that. So if you're far away from the server, it can take hours, and if you have a really bad ISP, then it's gonna take even longer. Yeah. So you're just gonna have to wait for this thing to finish. You may see a bunch of like chunks that are not able to be downloaded, so it's gonna be like connection timeout, this blah 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 chunk. Those are just corrupted chunks that I don't think Steam is downloading. I was able to get the game running perfectly fine, without those chunks. So just let it go through its thing and go grab a drink, go watch a movie, do whatever the hell you want to do, and the game should be done by the time you get back. For me, it takes around 15 minutes, but for you, it may take even longer. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to my game finishing, so I'll see you in a few. Alright, I'm back. My game just finished downloading. As you can see, this shit is set 100% right here, and then it just, did this. So, if you didn't set a directory, which I didn't, if you didn't set that directory, it's fine if you didn't. here I'll show you where the game is actually going to be. So if you go to your downloads folder, wherever depot downloader is, and then you go to this right here, and then you go to depot, and then you'll see this 407.531. Double click that, double click this, and then you'll see all this. So this depot downloader thing you don't really need. It's just these like things over here. You're not going to transfer this over. You can delete it if you really want to, but I'm just going to leave this here for the time being. What you're going to see is all of this. If you've ever been inside of ARK Survival Evolved, Ascended, or Survival of the Fittest's game files, this is all very familiar. Shooter game, engine tools, and stuff like that. In order to launch a game, you're going to need to be using the files themselves. It's actually pretty simple. You can make a shortcut to the file if you really wanted to, but what we're going to need to do is go into shooter game and then go into binaries, Win64, and you'll find all this. So this is your shooter game server. If you're going to make a server, you can download the dedicated server depot, or you can actually make it through here if you really wanted to. This is your shootergame.exe. This is non-BattlEye. So when it comes to this, if you launch this, you're not going to be able to play on any official server or any unofficial server that has BattlEye enabled. And then _BE is BattlEye. So keep in mind that if you try to launch a BattlEye version and it gives you driver load error 87, I'll show you how to fix it right now. You're going to want to go to your Windows security, and then you're going to want to go to device security and then core isolation. Click core isolation details and then turn off memory integrity. This is because older versions of BattlEye, if you have kernel mode hardware and force stack protection on, they'll just completely stop. I'm pretty sure BattlEye is a kernel anti-cheat, so it's gonna completely block out, especially since it's an older version of BattlEye. So I recommend you just have this off to begin with, so so the anti-cheat would actually work in the game, doesn't give a driver load error. Once that's off, you should just be able to launch the game perfectly fine. Keep in mind that when you launch the game to begin with, your configuration should be default, so that means music volume all the way up. And in order to actually launch the game, make sure you have Steam open with ARK Survival of the Fittest in your library. It doesn't have to be in your favorites. You just have to own the game. Make sure you have Steam open and logged into your account. So once that's done, just go ahead and double click shooter game _BE, and it's going to be a bit loud, so definitely watch out for that. Yes, if it does pop up with something like that. And then BattlEye should load up. It shouldn't give you driver load error 87. It should give you a updating BattlEye service, and it should give you an error at the end of it, but it's still going to launch. It's going to flicker by. Yeah, see, failed to start, but it's still going to start. Volume a bit more. That was a bit loud. So, you're gonna have this basic default configuration. I think it's normally 1600 by 900, and just set it to windowed full screen or whatever you want to set it to. I normally run my game on Epic. I have a PC that can handle it, and I normally turn my FOV all the way up. Also turn on Fahrenheit temperature and turn off camera view bob. I also like to have motion blur off. I recommend you turn off light shafts and boom. Alright, so that's my settings for that. So, as you can see, I'm able to go to unofficial perfectly, and there's going to be one server. Actually, there should be two. So, for me, I'm actually seeing these servers, but I'll actually show you. If you don't see these unofficial servers, that's no biggie. I'll show you how I actually got mine to pop up. But, as you can see, everything looks perfectly. I'm in the game. It still says this. It still says everything is like online and stuff like that. I don't know if these official servers work. I'll probably test it, but yeah. As you can see, I used to be really shit at the game. That was way back ago, but don't mind my dog. Apologies for that. Anyway, yeah, here's the game. The game runs perfectly fine. You may be installing some mods while you're doing the game, so that's really it. Alright, so if you had an issue where you weren't seeing like unofficial servers whatsoever, because I actually had this issue early on, you're gonna actually need to throw all of this like shooting game stuff into your Steam directory. If you didn't set your Steam directory, which I didn't personally, when I started the guide, if you didn't set your Steam directory, it's not that big of a deal. It's actually pretty simple. So the only thing you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to go back here, and then you're gonna need to open a new window of File Explorer. and then you're just gonna want to go to your C drive, program files x86, Steam, Steam apps, common, and then once you got here, just go ahead and right click and make a new folder. You can just call it. You have to name it this, I'm pretty sure, for Steam to pick it up, because that's what it's called on Linux and Mac OS, but it's called ARK, all capitals, SOTF, like so. So once you got that, you just want to go ahead and drag the contents of it in here into that ARK SOTF folder. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do that real quick. So we've got version text tools, and then drag this into ARK SOTF. Move 5 items. It shouldn't be too long. Don't transfer the. You can. I'm pretty sure you can transfer this if you really want to, but I normally don't. It's useless. Like the game will still launch without it perfectly fine. There's just some like manifest IDs and whatever. Also, you can close. I forgot to add this open. You can actually just close this. So yeah, you should just be able to launch the game perfectly fine. Go to binaries, Win64, and what you call it. So I'll show you what happens if you don't launch the game. If you launch the game without BattlEye, the game will launch instantly. You'll notice that, but you also notice that if you try to join an unofficial server, I know XGD free for all unofficial has BattlEye enabled. This right here. So if I try to join this server, I'm actually only seeing one server. This unofficial thing is actually, yeah, there you go. There's another. So if I try to join the server right here, you're gonna notice that it should crash my, yeah. So it should crash my game, and then it's going to, actually didn't. Anyway, it closed my game, and what it did for me a couple, oh, see, there it is. It actually launched BattlEye, and then it launched the shooter game _ BE of the game, and then it's going to load you in. Let's see what it does. Yeah, there you go. I'm in the game. And I can go, oops, sorry. I can go back to unofficial, and then I can refresh again. I'm waiting for XGD to pop up. Sometimes the server browser can be a bit glitchy. Make sure you don't have show password protected servers on. Like if you have this on, no server is gonna pop up. So don't have that on. Make sure you also don't uncheck both of these boxes right here. And then, you know, if it still doesn't pop up a server, just continue to refresh it. But for me here in the US, yes, see, it says no sessions found. But if I refresh it again, there you go. There's one right there, and then there should be another one. I keep refreshing it. I'm trying to load into XGD right now. There we go. So we'll click join. There we are. Log in perfectly. Create tribes. Tribe flags still exist. Stats still exist. Let me find a word for to leave. And then deathmatch in the valley. I gotta wait for this one. You may have to continue refreshing for certain servers to pop up. I've noticed this can tweak out sometimes, depending on there we go. Depending on your internet connection. Also depending on how far away the server is from you. The ping counter in the unofficial session list is it's basically useless. Like you're not getting 212 ping unless you may actually be getting 212 ping. It all depends. But here I am, deathmatch in the valley. Oh! Yeah, here I am. Everything works perfectly. See, my ping's only 44, and I live in the US. I don't know if the server is, but either way. Yeah, everything works. If you played this server prior, like all these people, these are from way back. I'm talking about I'm talking about probably in like 2020, 2019. So if your survivor should actually still be saved in here. So yeah, see, this is my old survivor that I had all the way back, level 19 and all stuff like that. So that's really it. So now that you're in here, welcome back to ARK SOTF. This game was great, honestly. I love this game. Parties work. I'm 99% sure they work. I mean, I was able to get another Steam account in here. I don't know if you can actually really do anything with that, but what I recommend you do is if you're gonna be playing this game pretty often, you pin it to your start. So you can pin it like right here. Where I pin it? I don't know. You can pin it somewhere. If you launch the game, you're able to pin it to your taskbar. I don't know where I actually put it. Anyway, you can pin this to certain stuff. So actually, let's test that real quick. If I open this, I should be able to just allow BattlEye to update, do all that stuff like that, and I can pin it to my taskbar at the bottom. And then whenever you're trying to play SotF, you can just launch it through the thing that you bought. Now, keep in mind that you can't launch the game through Steam. It sometimes Steam may bug out and think that you have the game installed, and if you try to play it through there, it just doesn't launch whatsoever. So don't expect to launch it through there. Yeah. So Alt Tab. So I right click this and then pin the taskbar. Exit the game. There's shooter game right there, and then I can just click that to launch ARK SotF, and then you're good to go from there. So I'm currently working with Error404, one of the people on the ranked leaderboards, to get servers up and running again. He is currently on a Linux build trying to get servers running once again, so definitely expect some more servers to pop up in the unofficial list, and we'll definitely see y'all in the battlefield. But with that being said, that pretty much wraps up my guide, although I am missing one more thing. So I actually forgot to mention this. You might have noticed that I have this old NVIDIA driver here, and that is because with ARK SotF and actually older versions of ASE, ARK Survival Evolved, they have this weird artifacting and flickering issue. And the same thing actually happens with Rainbow Six Siege. That's how I actually figured out the fix of this. There's a dedicated community to get old Rainbow Six Siege on, and they had the same issue. Textures are glitching everywhere, like everything was tweaking out and stuff like that. In order to fix those artifacting glitches in ARK and etc. in those older games that have older builds and stuff like that, you're gonna need to install this NVIDIA driver right here. So it's gonna be the Game Ready driver 546.65. It's from 2024. So again, if you're not having any flickering issues, you don't have to download this. But if you are having flickering issues, you just download this and then double click it and run the installer. Simple as that. Keep in mind that if you're playing any newer games like Marvel Rivals or any games like that, this came out in 2024. This actually came out over a year ago. So definitely expect some like performance issues in newer games, and if you have to cycle between graphics versions, so you can cycle between newest game ready drivers versus older game ready drivers for SOTF and etc. If you're on an AMD card, you shouldn't have to deal with this issue, but if you are dealing with this issue on an AMD card, it is probably due to the same reason, so definitely find a driver from around this time period. But from what I've heard, AMD cards don't have a problem with this. So with that being said, I think that's really it. If you have any more questions, my Discord is in the description. I'm also a part of Error 404 server, so that should also be in the description. Definitely find us there. We also have some queues and lobbies and stuff like that you can join up again, and that's really about it. If you have any questions, complaints, concerns, or anything like that, want me to add anything to this guide, remove stuff from this guide, hit me up on Discord. I'm pretty much always open, and the account that you're going to be talking to me on is my account for stuff like this, like work. I guess you can put it as a work account. So I may not be active on it all the time, but I'll definitely get to you as soon as I can. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the battlefield in ARK, and yeah, that's it.